Welcome to an all-new episode of Rehashing, where each week we rehash the latest top entertainment news stories and recap Bachelor Nation news you may have missed.
Hi guys, welcome back. Another week of Rehashing the podcast.
Numero dos.
We had such a fun time doing the first week and launching it, and we got so much amazing feedback. And we're going to hopefully implement some of the stuff you guys said that you wanted to hear from us and some changes and make it even better for week 2. And I guess we'll just get right into it. So one of the things a lot of people mentioned was that they were kind of curious about like how we know each other, because some people think that we're like in one friend group, which isn't really the case. I mean, we kind of are a friend group between us. Like we've in the past like 5-6 years.
Like we're friends.
Yeah, we've become a cohesive group. Obviously we're friends, but we're not like really a standard classic, what you would say, friend group. And I think it's kind of like cool how this whole group chat came to be. So I guess like how it kind of started is Sam and I have been watching The Bachelor, which is like the through line of our friendship, obviously all of us, forever. Like I started watching, I think I was like in grade 3 or something, and I was illegally watching it. Like my mom would not let me. She wanted me to go to bed, and I was like on the stairs, like looking down, like hiding, like trying to peek through and watch.
Hey, I didn't start that early. But
yeah, but you started earlier than like most people, because I remember by like early high school days, you were already watching it, like Ben Flajnik season, like you were already there, like
Ben Flajnik, I can't with that guy. But yes, I think that the first season of The Bachelor that I watched, like not to get too much into it right now, but the first season, full season of The Bachelor that I watched was Jake Pavelka, I think.
Yeah, and Vienna, okay.
And Vienna, and like I kind of watched Jason Mesnick, like the end of his season with the Molly Melissa thing, but other than that. Anyway, but Lianna and I have been talking about The Bachelor for so many years.
For so long.
So
like even like back to our camp days, like early days of camp, being like young counselors and stuff. Like we would have like camp nights, like Monday night at camp, we would go into the counselor lounge and like get the cable on so that we could watch Monday nights. We'd have to like tape
I miss camp.
But like, we'd have to like tape it because our kids would go to bed, and I always had younger campers who would go to bed at like 9:00 so I could make it. But Sam had the older kids, so we'd have to like plan it. But yeah, that's how I guess like you and I started our love for Bachelor, like mutual love. And then I've always been friends with Alanna, like since we were babies. Like
Alanna, are you taking a snooze?
Yeah.
No, I'm listening. I'm listening to Lianna recite our history to us. It's lovely. It's.
Yeah, but like Alanna and I have been friends forever. And then in Dawson days, so in CJEP, when we were like 17, 18, Adina, Sam, and Alanna.
I'm literally the odd one out. If anyone's wondering, everyone went to high school together, and then Adina.
No, you're not. If anything, Lianna might be the odd one out, because when we all started talking, Lianna was in a different program, and we were all in the same program.
That's true. Like I feel like Adina, the only reason you might feel like you're the odd one out is because Alanna, Lianna, and I. Sorry, that's like a tongue twister.
It is.
Elementary and high school together.
Oh, that's true.
And then I became friends with Adina in high school. Well, she says grade 6, but I only remember her in high school. And then in, like Lianna said, in CJEP, Adina, Alanna, and I were in this program, and I had already known that Lianna loved The Bachelor. And so that's a very tongue twister, but that's kind of how it started. And
do you know, Adina, how we got our introduction?
We met in Western Civ, and we started to use Photoshop.
No, that was how we became friends. But our introduction was because I got a note taker in Dawson, and Sam was doing it for me in another class. So Sam messaged me. She's like, hey, like, you know, Adina, she says she has a class with you. I'm not with you. Like, can she be your note taker? I was like, sure, yeah, I guess why not? And halfway through, I switched to someone else because you were a terrible note taker, but a great
I can't recall ever being a note taker.
Sorry, can we just talk about
someone else ended up doing it?
Can we just talk about the fact that I was your note taker
for like one class? It wasn't. I think I was kind of like, oh my god, I get a note taker. That means I can get the school to pay my friends money.
Yeah, exactly. So I got paid. Anyway, I got paid, and you got my notes, which I would have given you anyway.
Yeah. Right.
but yeah. So
that's like kind of, I guess, how this friend group came to be. Like we all love The Bachelor, and then we just started texting about The Bachelor, and then eventually we started having like watch parties where we.
I'm trying to remember what my first season was. I think my first season was Emily Maynard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't that was like that was like 2011, I think.
No, Brad, like, okay, I guess Emily.
Oh yeah. Oh, Brad when he had Emily.
Brad when he
Okay.
That's a while ago.
That is a while ago.
I think that the first time that we really ever, around the time period that we started talking and having a group chat, which like we called ourselves like the Batch Babes.
We still do.
Babes. We still do, of course, but that's how it kind of started, was really for Ben Higgins, which we talked about a bit last time on the podcast. And we had our watch party, and then it kind of just took off from there. And I don't know, I feel like it's really nice, like, to have people that like we just like connect on, like, you know, pop culture and Bachelor and all these sort of things. So yeah, it's really fun.
Here we are.
It's a cute thing, and it's cute that we're like not the conventional friend group that like every single Saturday night is together. I mean, now nobody's together because of COVID, but like pre-COVID times, we each have like our own friend groups, our own like lives, but this is our one like thing that we really connect on. And we always have like very good conversations and banter, and we all have different opinions, and we're all not afraid to like say our opinions. So that's like, I guess, how this came to be. Pretty unconventional, but like I guess kind of conventional, because like we do have all these
fruition.
This past week was very lackluster in the entertainment world, if I do say so myself.
It kind of was.
3 notable stories: Betty White turned 99, Lynn Spears and her cats, and Armie Hammer.
Or lack thereof, cats.
Give me a minute, we'll get there. So Betty White turned 99, and People magazine came out with a beautiful article. Betty White jokes about her 99th birthday. I can stay up as late as I want. Since I'm turning 99, I can stay up as late as I want without asking permission, the award-winning actress and comedian who turns 99 on Sunday told the Associated Press.
Stop.
And then they also recounted how she was going to celebrate her big day.
I'm dying.
To celebrate her big day, White plans to feed a pair of ducks that regularly visit her Los Angeles home. Later on, she'll enjoy a hot dog and french fries from her longtime friend and agent, Jeff. I can't pronounce his last name. Who will also come handy with a bouquet of roses, the AP reported. Okay, so the reason why I needed to discuss this, because that sounds like my dream day. Eating ducks, eating hot dogs and french fries, staying up as late as you want, and getting flowers.
Honestly, I hope we all make it to 99 so we can recreate a Betty White birthday, because that sounds fabulous.
Betty White is just like a gem on earth. Like, I just
a precious little darling.
Yeah. Every time I hear Betty White's name, I'm just like, is she okay?
Yeah.
Can someone check on her? Is she alive?
I was thinking like, well, let's check on Betty White.
Like, where is she?
I don't think about her much, to be honest.
We're like dying, and Adina's like, yeah, Betty White.
Adina's like, why are we talking about this?
Like, I watched a few episodes of The Golden Girls.
Yeah.
Guys, I don't know what it is, but I'm really giddy tonight. Alanna, thank you.
Oh God, it's gonna be a lot of Sam laughing then.
I'm really giggly, so if you hear some laughter in the background, I apologize.
So next story, important to talk about. Lynn Spears is blaming Elon Musk and Tesla for killing multiple cats.
My thing is, like, if you do it to, if it happens to one cat, don't you learn from it?
Wait,
Hold on.
we have to talk
We
about
have to say the story. So Lynn Spears, I believe, tweeted, if I'm remembering correctly, that she's blaming Elon Musk for the death of multiple cats of hers because the cars don't make noise. So I guess the cats didn't hear the car and she hit them. But like,
oh, not funny to me.
It's really not funny. Like,
it's not funny.
She killed her cats. It was not Elon Musk.
Okay, get it together, everyone.
Wait, sorry. She was driving, right?
That's too much. I think this all came out in a tweet. I don't really know if there were a lot of details about what actually happened. But the point is, she is blaming Elon Musk and Tesla for killing more than one of her cats.
First, she takes away Zoe 101 from us, and now this. Like,
I can't.
Right, like, I'm confused. You didn't, like Adina said, you didn't learn after the first time. So
honestly, the gift of Britney Spears keeps on giving.
Like, maybe maybe keep your cats indoor cats.
But not only that, but like, once it happens one time, how do you let it happen a second time?
Yes. Isn't there a camera?
The first time is Elon Musk's problem. The second time is your problem.
Fool me once.
I should never hear this.
I think we just gave this story enough
too much time.
It got too much time. It just had to be mentioned.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Another story that we have to mention, but we can't give enough time, is Armie Hammer.
I don't even want to talk about it. Like,
he's disgusting. He's apparently a cannibal, sent disgusting messages. I don't even know enough about this story because I don't care.
He was like DMing girls about
being gross, telling them they want
cannibalism,
to
rape,
crack their ribs and barbecue them and suck their blood. And
is he a vampire? Is he Damon?
He's like a cannibalism. I don't know, into cannibalism.
I'll just say I didn't really like him. I never really liked him from the beginning when he played that guy on Gossip Girl, the one who like kind of manipulated
Gabe.
Gabe.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just like got weird, creepy vibes from him. And I
Did
feel
you watch Call Me By Your Name?
I didn't like him in Call Me By Your Name either.
No, I
So
didn't.
I
see
like
it.
my sister is a resident Timothée Chalamet stan. Like she's the captain of that friggin' ship. Like she loves him. So I've watched Call Me By Your Name, like unfortunately way too many times. But he's just so creepy in that movie too. Like he just gives off that like
I just didn't like
I don't
who they
know.
put. He was not right for the role. I read the book and he was just not right for the role.
okay, well, I didn't read.
He's
the book.
slimy. I find him a bit slimy. Like I feel like all his characters are slimy. And
Well,
I mean,
clearly
listen,
he's slimy because what
He's
he's doing
slimy.
is disgusting.
I
Yeah.
He's
fully
typecast
zoned out
for a
during this
reason.
conversation.
Yeah.
Like
Anyway.
no desire, like
So that's
no,
a
he's
side. So let's
disgusting
move it
now.
along.
That
Yeah.
like, yeah, let's move on to another exciting story.
yeah. So we were really excited about this one. Our boy, Justin Timberlake, finally has announced the name of his newborn son. He did it on the Ellen DeGeneres show, which is also exciting. And he finally told us that his baby boy's name is Phineas. So
Mhm.
Phineas Timberlake,
Mhm.
which I thought was really cute until
like-
I saw the spelling of it.
Why? How is it spelled?
like
It's like
Phineas
Phineas and Ferb, not Phineas
Oh.
the musician.
So like when I heard it, I was like Phineas and Silas because his older kid is Silas. Like those are cute names.
So cute, yeah.
But like Phineas Timberlake is a mouthful. And I also then was like, oh my God, Billie Eilish, like her reign is just like all over us. Like Phineas, her brother, the producer, now it's like turning into this thing where people are naming their kids. Cause like Billie is totally a popular name now because of her. And like Phineas now I feel like
It is a cool name.
I also want to say one other thing. I find it really, I mean, I guess Justin Timberlake and Jessica Biel didn't like post so much about the fact that they were pregnant.
I
But
love
also
that.
COVID.
Wait, but I want to say, but I find it really hard when, especially people like us who like love celebrities and love
Mhm.
stalking them on Instagram, when I feel so invested when somebody's like posting about their pregnancy and then they give birth and we don't get any information.
Annoying.
So I feel like, I don't know, anytime like a celebrity that we like announces a name or a picture or the gender or whatever, I just feel really excited and I feel really happy for them. So yeah.
Like I cannot wait for Michaela Podolsky to have her child.
Yeah.
Okay, like the one I'm hung up on that I actually will never get over, it's like, what the hell did Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds name their third kid? Like, is it Betty from the Taylor
Why?
Swift song? Like, I need to know. Like, we know what their other kids, like, we know, like James and Inez, like, those are the two daughters. They had a third daughter, and like, it's just so tight-lipped. And I know that we have no right to know the information, but like, okay, what's next in this?
TikTok drama.
Oh, is it TikTok time? I like to
Oh,
put a segment.
TikTok
time
segment with
with
Dee Dee.
Adina because
TikTok talks.
yeah.
But basically, there's a few little stories. Not sure if anyone saw, but Noah Beck posted some
Yes.
scandaloso.
Is he
pictures
of
of him.
age? Is he of age?
Yes, he's 19.
Okay.
And it
Because
wasn't a
Dixie-
Calvin Klein ad, right?
It was not
just
a
like
Calvin
him
Klein
being
ad, but it was
scandalous.
basically he was wearing boxers this small, and Instagram just deleted the post over and over again, and he just kept posting it over and over again.
Adina, can you just explain like who Noah Beck is in
Oh,
case
I would love
people
to.
aren't versed in the TikTok
Yeah, I have
world?
no idea who
Yes,
Noah Beck
Noah
is.
Beck joined the Sway House. I would love to get into Sway House maybe another time, but it's one of the content houses of the TikTok world. And he joined at the beginning of the pandemic.
Noah Beck posted these like pictures.
Basically, Noah Beck
on Instagram.
posted very scandalous photos of himself, and it left little to the imagination.
That's a great way to put it. Thank
Yes.
you.
Another story in TikTok world is that the Hype House, another content house in TikTok world, is getting a Netflix reality show.
A
but
Netflix
it's
one.
a Netflix one, which I
Not like
find
a YouTube Red.
No, Netflix. Some
Interesting.
notable stars of the Hype House, which some people may have heard of: Lil Hottie, Ryland, Nick Austin, who was rumored to be dating Madison Beer.
So old.
There's just so many people. Anyways, but there's like 3 houses right now of the Hype House, so I don't know how they're going to do that, but I'm so excited.
Oh my God.
This is why I call this segment TikTok with Adina, because
Yeah.
as you can see, if you're watching this, not just listening to it,
Yeah.
Alanna, Lianna, and I are learning all of this for the first time. Although I will say I do love TikTok, but I don't know the drama the way that Adina
Same.
does.
Like my TikTok is all Bridgerton musical. Like
Yeah.
this girl's trying to make the TV show Bridgerton into a musical with like 5 different songs so far. It's
amazing.
Not
Go
mine.
watch.
Mine is just people debunking like this TikTok scandals.
I can't.
I don't even
Honestly,
have TikTok.
Power to you. Thought that this was going to be like a slow news week.
Yeah.
And then
There's just so much.
it turned
It's so much of it
into
is Bachelor.
a big news week.
That's
Maybe
what I
because
actually
we
love.
love it.
Yeah, that's what I love about how the week's drama ended up because at first it was kind of slow, and then all of a sudden we just got some Bachelor content that doesn't even have to do with the episode. Like that we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
But there's some seriously good content. So
let's start with Clare and Dale. For those of you who don't know them, well, I don't know how you don't know them because they were a huge scandal while they were filming her season.
Even if
Clare
you don't watch, you know.
Was the original Bachelorette last season when they filmed like their first season post quarantine. And she, right from the get-go, knew who she wanted to pick, and she didn't hide that. Like, she was very obvious that, like, Dale was her number one pick. She was announced as the Bachelorette right when everything shut down, so she knew who her guys were, which gave her the opportunity to stalk them all on social media, which is how she became so obsessed with Dale before the show started.
Matt James was supposed to be on her season.
They never spoke. Right. Matt James, who's the current Bachelor, was supposed to be part of her season, but she like stalked him so well. They never spoke, but she knew that like
their values lined up. She thought he was attractive. There was like a lot of things about him that she saw on paper matched up with her like checklist.
I think it's also important to mention, just so that people have an idea of who Clare is, if they didn't want Juan Pablo's season, she was also one of the worst contestants to ever be on the show.
Wasn't a fan favorite to begin with, and the reason why they picked her, especially because she was from previous season, like it had been years since she was on the show, was because she's like, I think she was 39, and they wanted someone who was older, more mature, and like they thought could handle it, and she was the most immature Bachelorette they've ever had.
Well, the thing was, the show was getting a lot of backlash after Peter's season with all of those 22-year-old girls who were influencers, and Peter being mid-20s and picking a million different girls. Literally he proposed to half of his women on the show, and they were just like fed up with it, quite frankly. And they knew that Clare was serious and was older and knew what she wanted, and they thought they would like pull an old trick like out of the hat and bring her back. And like we all were angry when they announced her as a Bachelorette, but I mean I know I was very much like, I'm not happy about this, but like maybe she'll surprise us.
I was fuming.
And I also think like on their end, like in theory it is a good move because
it was strategic.
She knows what she wanted, and it was strategic for sure, but I mean she completely blew it out of the water.
I would have rathered another season of Hannah B.
Yeah, all I can say is thank God that like she was psycho enough to be like, day one, I want Dale, and then like only make us watch 3 weeks of her.
And like the producers saw what we saw, essentially.
Yeah, so she blew up the Bachelor.
Yes.
But basically she chose Dale.
Essentially she chose Dale, but
week
like
3.
Like the producers were you could tell they were so unhappy with Clare as the Bachelorette that they kind of like tricked her into thinking that this was her decision. They had already had Tayshia in quarantine ready to go, and like then Chris Harrison tells Dale like he has to propose and he doesn't have a choice, and like he probably was told you'll have to stick it out until the end of the year, which is why at the very beginning of January there were rumors all over the internet that they had broken up.
Yeah.
And
we were all shocked.
Not
to hear the rumors.
No one was shocked that this happened.
Was just waiting. I was waiting for them to break up, honestly. And I did hear some people say like, oh, they kind of seem happy. Like maybe they're going to stick it out. They're house hunting. But like, I literally knew it in my gut. There was no chance. Even if you do fall in love at first sight, like, I'm sorry. They knew each other for 10 days?
But you know what? It wasn't even that. Like he was just leading her on. She may have really thought she had those feelings for him, but like he was forced into being in this relationship. Like he didn't have a choice.
Like he gave off the same face that Maddie did during Peter's season and that Cassie did during Colton's season. The face of, how did I make it so far? I just wanted fame. Please don't choose me.
Yeah.
And none of them are together anymore.
That's a really good
face
point.
that he was making when Clare was like, I love you, like this is endgame.
He looked like he was gonna like throw up. He was shocked.
His face went white, and they couldn't edit that.
And that was the same face as Cassie and Maddie.
It's so true. I didn't even remember
really
that,
true.
but
that's a really good point.
Yeah.
I also feel like he didn't expect that to come out on week 3.
He just wanted to get some Instagram followers.
It's just
promote his businesses.
But so another part of this whole breakup is that like, so weeks ago it was on like all these blinds on Instagram, which if you don't know what blinds are, they're these like Instagram accounts that get people who like have inside scoop. They reported anonymously and whatever. So it had been reported that they broke up at the beginning of the month. And then today, I think it was E! News, or if it wasn't E! News, that's how I saw it. Said they were on a break. And then quickly after that, Dale made a post saying, no, like, we broke up, it's sad or whatever. It's like, it's as if the E! News post about them being on a break, Dale like needed to clear that up, and he was
It
like,
wasn't.
no,
It wasn't
like,
even that. It wasn't even that. It was
it's
literally
the
The
breakup.
Bachelor. It was literally The Bachelor. Like their PR people slipped it to E! News and said, listen, they're not together, but you can't confirm it. They want to confirm it themselves.
Okay.
So that it's rocky. And then they waited 45 minutes and then they let Dale post on his story with his signature.
Yeah, that was weird.
Signed it and let Dale have his moment. Claire's silent. Like right now it's whatever, 8:45. It's news has been out for a few hours. Like,
because she's
I haven't seen
embarrassed.
her.
If I were her, I
she's
would.
sad. I'm sure she's sad also. Like I feel
This
like
is her number 3.
She
like,
got
I feel yeah.
she got one shot at this, and she
Yeah.
blew it.
She
like,
didn't even use it. She didn't even use her shot because she
She-
took 3 weeks of it. Like it's just so
Yeah.
sad on so many levels.
But I will say, and I think we addressed this earlier, and I think it's worth mentioning now, is that regardless of if Claire blew it, like we don't care. We're just happy that she blew it. Not to be mean, but because if she didn't leave when she left, we would never have gotten
Yeah.
Tayshia, and we would have never gotten Zach and Tayshia, and like
Aisha fan for life.
unfortunately,
And Ben.
Ben.
Oh, wait,
and,
Ben
like,
we would have known anyway.
Ivan, like I don't know, there was just like a lot of really nice
Yeah.
people that were worth showing, and had Claire gone through it faking that she didn't want Dale to be the one, we never would have gotten any of that. So
That's true.
I feel bad for her, but
there
Great
were
point,
such
Samantha.
good guys on her season too. Like Dale is for sure like
He's like number 10.
he
Yeah.
wasn't even
Listen.
worth it.
There's like different strokes for different folks. She obviously liked him.
yeah.
Go with God. I don't even want to think about or talk about them anymore because like it's over now, thankfully. And
Yeah.
that's it.
I just feel really bad, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever. But they're
I also
done.
just wonder, like, you know, they were talking about, like, just for example, like house shopping. Like, do you think that was like? I guess she
I
probably
think it
really
was fake.
wanted it,
Well,
and he was faking it. That's the
so
vibe that I get.
Here's my thing. She has lived, where does she live? Sacramento.
Sacramento, yeah.
She has lived in Sacramento her whole life, even after being on The Bachelor and like having all these opportunities. She's never gotten married. So she's very close with her mom, her sisters. Like she's not gonna at 39 years old uproot her life and move to New York to like frolic around New York. And like
100%.
he's not looking to settle, he's frolicking around New York. Everyone's posting about him every week, like, oh, he was at this restaurant with this girl, blah blah blah. And like,
It was clear it was not going to work
wanted.
out. And it didn't. And we're
It
not
didn't.
shocked. And we wish her all the best. Hopefully engagement number 3 or 4 will do her great. Good luck to Claire.
there's a muzzle tov that we
Yeah.
need to make
A muzzle
for Arie and Lauren.
Oh, big muzzle tough to them.
Yes, Arie was the Bachelor a few years ago. He and his wife Lauren, who he ended up picking not before picking someone else and then breaking up with her and getting back together with Lauren. They just announced that they're having. Well, they announced a couple weeks ago they're having twins. Today they announced that they're having a boy and a girl, and we're very excited for them because
big
they're very
muzzle.
happy.
Yeah, they're rainbow babies. She
They're
suffered a
rainbow
miscarriage. So it's very nice
Yes.
and happy for
We're
them.
very happy for them.
We're happy for them, and also they have a really adorable daughter already.
Yeah.
So now they're going to end up having 2 girls and a boy, which is great. And I even watched a little bit of the video that they uploaded about their gender reveal. I didn't watch the whole thing, but obviously Arie was like super excited that now they're going to have like boys
boy.
and girls, you know. And I don't know, I just like, I feel like we can wrap this story up by just saying everybody really didn't like Lauren and Arie at the beginning because of everything that happened
With
the
Becca.
fact that, you know, he chose Becca, broke up with her, and then went back to Lauren. But I don't know, I have to
love
say,
prevails,
like, in the last
obviously.
year, like I started following them on Instagram, and I just like them. I feel like they're really happy together, and I don't know, they're really cute. So we're very happy for them.
So
And,
we're ready
yeah.
to talk about this week's Bachelor. But before we
Yes.
do, we just need to address something. This is like not a spoiler alert because it doesn't give anything
I
away.
wouldn't say is a spoiler.
Yeah, it doesn't give
No.
anything away in terms of like contestants, but just this is like a kind of like an like a little like
I would say it's a caution.
Something
Yeah,
that came out
caution.
today that
Basically, there are people out there on the internet that are being crazy stalkers. I'm normally one of them, but I'm really sad to say that I did not discover this. I wish I did. But basically, Matt James, the Bachelor, this season, has a Spotify account, as many of us do. And on Spotify, when you have an account, you can have your friends on it, and you can basically see what your friends are listening to. So there are some amazing diehard Bachelor fans out there that have added him on Spotify and can see what he's listening to. And recently found that he has been listening consistently to playlists by one of the contestants this season, basically giving away who he chooses. Because like,
so
why would
if
he
you
let
look for
in-
the information and read the article, you could find the spoiler, which we
Yeah.
have not.
we
No,
don't
we have
encourage.
no idea who it is. However, I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
Now, the only reason this could have been newsworthy is if it was a girl who we already know. Now, we saw in the promo last night that there's going to be an introduction of some new girls. If it
Yeah.
was one of the new girls who we don't know yet, then no one would have realized that on Spotify. So it kind of leads, at least it led me to believe that like he
It's
ends
one
up
of the
picking someone we
people.
already know, which I'm okay with because there's a few girls that I really like.
I really hope it's Brie.
Yeah, I like her.
Adina's on the Brie
She's
train.
probably my
I
my
love her
number
earrings. That's why.
Yeah, she's really cool.
It's just annoying. Like The Bachelor, they do their best job to like not have it spoiled by reality TV or anybody or keep it under wraps. And then like classic things like this slip, you know, like the Spotify playlist or like Tayshia recording her podcast and taking a selfie and in the corner, it's like her ring is there. Or like, what are other ones? Like Claire went grocery.
Caitlyn.
Oh, yeah,
Caitlyn and
Caitlyn.
Sean sent a Snapchat like to her story and not to like a producer.
Yeah, of her in bed with Sean. It's just like annoying when things like that accidentally get slipped at. And like, you know, that's not a PR
Yeah.
player. That's not
And
a
I'm also
company
nervous. Like
information.
every time I look at Instagram, I'm like, oh my God,
I
am
know.
I going to accidentally see who
I
wins
know.
and
I know.
ruin it for myself? And there was a time where we read spoilers, but now we really take it seriously because we just
do.
realized it's just way more fun to be
Way
surprised.
better.
It's Bachelor Fantasy League very
Really
seriously.
seriously.
Yes.
We're not doing any spoilers or colluding.
Yeah.
And
It's like the word of the month around here is colluding.
Colluding. Don't
Yes.
collude. So yeah, I feel like
Give a hoot, don't
just
collude.
interesting. Yeah, it's just interesting to see that these things are coming out, but we are staying away from them. We are a no spoiler zone, and we hope that everybody who listens to the podcast also feels that way. And
Yes.
with that being said, I am really ready to talk about last night's episode because I feel like
Same.
I just want to preface this by saying, I don't know what you guys think. I feel like we'll do a recap in a second, but I feel like for the most part, we were just watching an episode of Mean Girls. Like I actually feel like so much emphasis was put on how mean the girls are. And yeah, I understand maybe in certain situations it was deserved or it was merited, but the things that were coming out of the girls' mouths were awful.
But
Anyway,
Sam, sorry,
into
just to go off of that, that's always my problem with The Bachelor. And that's why I always prefer to watch The Bachelorette.
Yeah.
Because I just find The Bachelor is always centered on the girl drama
So
and
true.
not on the lead. Like we know nothing about Matt. Number
know.
one, he was never on a previous season and he's getting no airtime.
yeah,
And I find
literally.
that honestly happens often with Bachelor because they just focus on this petty girl drama. Whereas The Bachelorette, we actually get like some nice love stories. And we like, I feel like I root for the guys. Whereas The Bachelor, I'm just like, ugh, enough with the drama. Stop being mean.
I know.
I really, really think that's an amazing point.
Thanks.
Let's start from the beginning. So last week, we ended off the episode halfway through the rose ceremony. We didn't get to see the rose ceremony, which was very frustrating for anybody who's in a bachelor bracket like us.
Yeah.
Because we didn't know if we did well, if we did bad.
It was really frustrating.
All that to say, the episode ends with Sarah, who's about to faint. And up until this point, we're totally cool with Sarah. We don't mind her. She had a one-on-one date, no problem. So Sarah basically faints. Brie goes to help her. And this is basically what skyrockets the whole Mean Girls scenario that we're going to play out.
The worst part about all of it was that by the end of the rose ceremony, because they chopped it up like that, you had no idea who went home.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it
a
was
really
so
good,
confusing.
it was
Like-
super confusing. Like, I feel like they didn't mention some, like they cut some names out and we
I just feel like they
figure it
could have
out.
cut the episode and some points of last episode and made like ended the full
They
rose
wanted
ceremony.
to end it. They wanted to end last week's on a to be continued cliffhanger.
No one cares.
But
what
it's
Sarah fainted.
annoying. Yeah, and like Sarah had a rose already. It's just like annoying. She was the reason why she fainted, she said, is like everything's getting to her. Like it's
She ruined our episode.
I
Yeah.
would have
Ruined the
preferred they cut out her fainting
Yes.
than them cutting the rose ceremony.
But I think that the part of her fainting and why they kept it in is because it added to the narrative that she was trying to push throughout the entire episode.
Yes.
It was, like,
Yeah,
too
it's-
much to
it's-
her, right? It was
Yes, it's
too
too
much.
much for her. And it makes no sense, by the way, why it's too much for her because it was week 2, week
Mhm.
3. Like,
She's also like
And-
always on TV, isn't she? A broadcaster.
yeah, that's such a good point.
that's a really good
But
point.
no, but what she was saying, like the part that really was too tough for her and too much for her, which made no sense, was that she's a jealous person. She doesn't like the idea of sharing a man. She doesn't like the idea of like the attention not being on her, which is just like so annoying when any contestant ever pulls that card because it's like you know what you signed up for, which makes me
Watch the
feel
show.
like you're fake. You didn't want to come here to find love. You came for Instagram followers. Get off my screen.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll talk a little bit more about Sarah when we get to like the later part of the recap. But
anyway, Sarah fainted. We missed the rose
we missed the rose ceremony. We finally got the rose ceremony. She fainted, and that was that. So after that, I feel like the next most important part was this group date. And I don't know about you guys, but what the F was that?
Okay.
Basically, just to give a quick summary and then we'll go into it. Half the girls got the date. They went to a conference room at Nemacolin.
I'm already embarrassed.
Okay, or the rec hall, as Alanna likes to call it. And basically, the whole group date was about pushing Chris Harrison's book.
Okay,
his
book?
No.
His erotic
novel.
Book, his erotic novel. And he wrote the novel. It was on display for everybody to see. And the whole premise of the group date was that each girl had to write like an erotic love story.
Without calling it erotic.
Without calling it erotic, because I guess they had to be careful.
We're on cable TV.
Which makes no sense.
Part was. It's like they tried to put a below board idea above the board. Like clearly erotic fiction is not 8 o'clock cable ABC TV. So we're not going to call it erotic fiction. We're going to call it like an intimate love story. And we're going to have Ashley Yai, who was a virgin on the show, talk about her sex life. Like that was literally what they tried to do. Yeah. And it was so unbelievably cringy, except like low-key Adina, and I loved it because
yeah, like how many texts did you get saying like
so
you would be great on this?
Like I would have
so
much of it. No,
me and Alanna were like, nope.
Alana last
but you know what?
I was like, this is amateur.
You know
Alanna was like, no.
Crazy as it was.
Home.
No, well, first of all, I was like, I'd self-eliminate. That's what I said. But the thing is, but when they were like doing these scenes and you guys were like, oh my God, this is so cringe, whatever. I don't know if it's because like you guys read that kind of stuff. Like for me, I was just kind of like, this is another stupid date. Like for some reason,
it just like
didn't faze me.
It was very uncomfortable.
Okay, it's just like, were like
maybe I was distracted and on my phone.
On the island. Like it was, come on. And then they were trying to use like sexual words, but it would get bleeped out. But sometimes it would be other words. So she was like, and he finished. It's like, okay, this is
I think I wasn't paying attention because like
that's what
I think they said that's what the date was. And I was just like, this is stupid.
Yeah. I will say one thing though, because obviously we're not going to go into like every detail of what every girl said, but the standout girl was Rachel, I would say, with what she said. He really was into what she said. And she ended up getting the group date rose as well, which
she was the only one who they showed
makes sense.
Talking to him.
Well, no, yeah, true, which we'll get into. But what I want to say is I feel like the point when Victoria, who last week was a complete villain, went up on the stage and read her thing, that was the point.
With her style.
When we were like, oh, like this girl's kind of funny. Yeah. First of all, she was dressed like a stripper. Like I can't even explain what
she was dressed like she was going to Times Supper Club, Montreal on a Friday night. Like
in 2010.
In 2010.
It was super confusing. Like she had a sty. I'm sorry. Like my mom texted me mid-episode and she writes, hey, I think Victoria has a sty. I was like, thanks, Mom. Like, but then apparently she tweeted about it or something. Or
the episode, I was like, she has a black eye.
Because last week
she was just really tired.
People were freaking out about it last week at the rose ceremony because she wasn't wearing any makeup because she had like this sty forming, so she had like these bags under her eyes, and everyone was like, "What the
nightmare?"
Honestly, like she really. Anyway, we'll get more into her, but basically,
wait. A side note for Victoria: I saw a TikTok of somebody who was on the plane with Victoria. And I
saw that. You sent me
she had like an old Snapchat. She was like, oh, I'm on the plane with the most annoying girl. She won't stop talking. And it ended up being Victoria.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And it was like an old Snapchat.
Yeah. That's really funny.
That's really funny. So yeah, well, obviously Victoria keeps being involved through the rest of the episode. Yes. So that was basically it for the main portion of the group date. I found it was like actually really nice to see all the girls just like dying of laughter together.
Yeah.
Like it was cringy a little bit and it was kind of weird and unexpected, but I don't know. In the end, I kind of liked it.
They always have the dates where they make them write something.
Yeah.
But this is the first time.
I think if you know you're going to be on The Bachelor, you should just come with like prepared poems or songs.
Agree, but like this time they literally had them writing porn.
Yeah.
Like, it's a bit odd.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
Anyway, so that was the group date.
Yeah, that was the day portion of the group date. And then they go to the night portion of the group date, which wasn't really a group date. It was just like a shit show, part of my language. But basically what happened there was Sarah was not on that original date. And barely any of the girls, we hadn't seen any time that was given to any of the girls other than Rachel, really, where her and Matt had a nice conversation. Good for them. But then while Matt was talking to Katie, Sarah shows up and basically just puts this sob story out about how, you know, she has something weighing on her heart. She comes in to talk to Matt. She interrupts Katie's time. Katie comes back to interrupt her. There's a lot of back and forth. And then Sarah goes to apologize, in quotation marks, to the girls. And they all basically just lost it on her. And she didn't even have anything to say. Like, if you're going to come and interrupt a date, at least have it planned out what you're going to say to the girls. Like, she's like, I'm here. Sorry.
I felt insecure.
Wanted you to hear it from me.
She didn't even like say that she felt insecure. It just all comes back to her fake faint, or maybe it was a real faint, but whatever. It just like her not being to like able.
Tiara 2.0.
Yeah.
She just was being an attention seeker and wanted more airtime. That's literally
And you know what? It kind of worked out because Matt was really sympathetic towards her.
Okay,
so maybe like
this is the thing with Matt that like I have to just get off my chest.
That he kisses with his eyes open and it's weird.
That's a whole other problematic.
That is another problem, which the producers should have. Last night I wrote, shouldn't the producers have told him, like, Matt,
shut your eyes, like yell cut, and then like shut your eyes. Like, I can't. But no,
It did him dirty.
My actual issue with Matt is that he's just, I love him. Like, as we know, like, I think he's really, really cute and hot and like a man, as we talked about last week. But I think he's very soft, and he keeps playing the card of being like, I've never been here before. I've never been on the show. I've never been a lead. I've never been a contestant. I don't know what to expect. And the thing is, it's like he's trying to appease everybody. He's trying to placate to everybody. He's trying to not be the bad guy. And at the cost of that is like he looks weak. He looks like he's just letting all these girls walk all over him. And like, I get it. Fine. Like, Sarah is insecure. She's coming onto this date. But like, at some point, you have to realize, okay, like production, we have a certain amount of time here. We need to like wrap this up. Go home. Like, you'll get your time when you get your time. I have these girls here that I need to be fair to.
Yeah. I agree with that. I really do.
It's annoying. I find.
I'm hoping.
And I think we also saw how soft Matt was when he eliminated Marilyn because of what Victoria said. Like, that was I think one of the first time where Bachelor has taken what a girl said so seriously, quick, without really finding anything out at all. Like,
I don't know.
It was really weird. He like brought her an orchid and then eliminated her.
I feel like he didn't even really want her there. Like, the orchid thing, we don't want to rehash it. But like, I honestly just feel like he already had his mind made up. And at that point he was like, hey, I need to get girls out. So she's leaving. But
yeah, it's just too bad because that.
No, I think he wanted to give her a chance. And then like there was drama associated with her and he knew he had to keep Victoria, and like he just didn't want to deal with the drama. So send home Marilyn.
Yeah.
Got an orchid, not a rose. Sorry, honey.
Anyway, we all felt really bad for Marilyn. I'm sure she's getting a lot of love on social media, but
we'll see her in paradise. She'll be fine.
But basically that group date ends. Sarah goes into her dungeon, aka her bedroom, for basically the rest of the episode. Goodbye. And now we are moving on to Serena's one-on-one date. I feel
like there's not much to say. Like,
there's not much to say.
There's not much to say.
He's 5 foot tall, 22 years old, very cute.
Yeah, I think she's super cute. She's from Toronto, which makes us like her a lot more. We also are trying to pinpoint who she looks like, but we can't figure it out. So if anybody knows, please let us know.
Yes.
We'll mention it next week on the podcast. We literally are doing really well with our lookalikes, but we can't figure it out. So.
Our new one is that Rachel looks like Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman.
That is a good one. Yes. But otherwise, we can't really see much wrong with Serena other than she's 22.
No, you know what? She looks more like Em Radikowski than Gal Gadot.
No.
Yeah, I bet.
I don't see Em Radikowski as much as
I don't see her.
I agree. Yeah.
Sorry.
Anyway.
Yeah. So before Serena was going to go on her date, Matt had yet another encounter with Sarah. And that's the first time we learned that Sarah is thinking about going home, which is just pissing the girls off more and more and more. I'm sure
you're either staying or you don't. Like, we don't need to talk about you the whole time.
I don't even, it's like infuriating me to know that we're giving her this much time of the recap. You know what I mean? Like, she took up
was
so
the whole
much
episode.
of the
She was the whole episode.
We were even trying to remember like what happened. We were like, was there a second group date? Was there not? And then we realized Sarah finally showed up. They did get a group date card and they read it. But then it went into this whole drama, and this might have been my favorite part of the episode.
It was fabulous.
Where Sarah, and okay, I actually felt really, really bad for Sarah in that moment before I processed the fact that she's probably just lying. But all the girls were ganging up on her and being really mean. But
Kit specifically.
And Kit. Victoria, every time Sarah would say something, Sarah would be like, you know, and I've formed some real friendships with some of you. And Victoria would be like, sorry, who? And she's like, I don't know who you're talking about. And like her expressions, like people were freaking out.
She went from annoying to funny, the way that like last week we were talking about how Corinne was like funny. Now I find Victoria's like that. Like she's just now become like comedic relief and like less annoying. Like now Sarah's the annoying one, get out, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Only part of me that like felt bad for Sarah or saw her as human was when she was sitting down with Katie, and part of her reasoning for like wanting to go home was because her dad has ALS and she's the caregiver and she wants to spend time with him. And Katie like tells her, she's like, I completely understand where you're coming from. I lost my dad in whatever year. And like they have a moment and it's like, wow, these two people are human.
And then you feel
like,
bad for Sarah because you're
I
like,
started
oh my
crying.
God. Yeah, you're like, this
right,
is really tough. She's in a really hard position. She's like losing very, very important time with her dad to be
And not to mention all the girls were just so mean to her.
Yeah, like why would you want to be in that environment?
Yeah.
But then
But then this is
what did you find, Lianna? There was like someone said something.
I'll get it.
Dina found it. It was basically
you found
this girl who was a family friend with the parents basically said like the dad was just dragged into this as a storyline, making it basically seem that Sarah doesn't have as close of a relationship with her father as she led on, and like it wasn't like as big of a part of her life as she made it seem, which is kind of maybe true because then when Sarah decided that she wanted to leave and went to go speak to Matt, which we'll talk about in a second, but that her reasoning to Matt was that the girls in the house are being mean to her, not that she wanted to go spend time with her dad.
And also what I'll say is that what I really didn't like and what made me really like switch from thinking like, okay, Sarah's kind of like you said, Alanna, she's human and the whole thing with Katie and it was so emotional. What really made me realize that she was a huge fake is when she went to Matt and all she talked about was that the girls were mean to her. Yeah. And yes, the girls were mean to her, but the fact that she went to Matt and threw them all under the bus, like if she was really a classy girl who was going home to see her family, all she would have said is, you know what? I really miss my family. My dad is not well. I'm really enjoying my time here, but I have to go. Like that's what she should have done.
So this was the tweet. I'll say this, then shut up. Now I don't have to listen to Sarah drag her dad through The Bachelor. Yeah. Bullshit. He's been my friend for 34 years. He didn't deserve to be used on TV. I introduced her parents to each other. They are my friends. The whole thing was a travesty.
Exactly. Yeah. So basically saying that she didn't actually have to go for her dad. Like she didn't have to leave for this reason.
She was playing it as a pity card when all the girls ganged up on her.
It just came off like she really wanted Matt to be like Claire and tell her like, you are the Dale of my season. I love you. It's you. It's you and I. Forget the other girls. I'm like, we're done. We're leaving here. Like, you're the one I choose. Like, that's what she clearly wanted from him.
You're the one that
he wasn't going to get it. So, okay, bye. And like Matt said bye to her and that was it. Like,
and then we didn't get another rose ceremony. Yeah.
So annoying.
So Sarah ruined 2 rose ceremonies for us. And now
she's off of our team.
But I know, but as we know that once the rose ceremonies like get messed up like this, like it takes so long to like recalibrate.
Yeah, I know, but know what? True. Next week with the new women coming in, because that's what they showed in the promo, I feel like we may not even get a rose ceremony. Like I feel like he may be like, there's new girls here, I need to reevaluate, and then everything will get
fantasy.
No, I think there's going to be a rose ceremony
with 5 new girls coming right away.
We've only had 2
they're
going
to come in at the cocktail party and he's going to talk to them or whatever, and he's going to talk to the new girls while the other girls who have been there are just like complaining to each other like, what the hell's going on?
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's going to be quick. Like I feel like how many new girls are coming? Maybe 4 or 5.
5.
He's probably going to keep, well, we know he for sure keeps one. This is not a spoiler, but there was one girl who was in
every promo,
literally every single promo saying, I think I found the man who's gonna do life with me or whatever. Like
we see them on a one-on-one date in the promo.
We
Aren't
do.
they like having a steamy hot tub kiss?
Yeah, like I feel like he for sure keeps
hot air balloon.
2. I would say he keeps 2 or 3 for sure.
Yeah,
and then he sends the other 2 home.
So for next week. I just like want to know what's gonna happen. I want to know what's gonna happen with these new girls, and I'm just like ready.
Thanks everyone for listening and tuning in. We are so happy to have you.
This is so fun.
This was so fun.
We love Tuesdays now.
Yeah. I feel like Bachelor Mondays were always the best, and Tuesdays was always kind of like a whatever kind of day. But now
Bachelor Hangover Day.
Yeah,
that's a great way to put it. Bachelor Hangover Day with Rehashing the Podcast. And on that note, thank you so much for listening to another episode of Rehashing. For more updates and breaking entertainment news, don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Rehashing Podcast. That's where we post all of our updates. If there's a story that you might want us to cover, or if you have any comments or questions about what we already talked about, feel free to send us a DM or email us at rehashingpodcast@gmail.com. Don't forget to share with your friends, and you can listen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or you can also watch us in video format if you want to see our faces on YouTube. We are looking forward to hashing it out with you guys again next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.